Omagyanatimandaśya Snam Sakshamilitam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha. Chitchaitanyamanopistam Staptam Yena Bhutaleshvam Rupakadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam. Vandhyam Shiro Shiyuda Padkamalam Shirom Vaishnavam Sa Shirupam Charichatam Sakanaratnatam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savlutam Parijana Saitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakalita Shivishakam Vitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jatpate Gopesha Goprakanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sutadevi Pranamama Hare Priye Ankha Kalpa Vishake Pasin Vavisha Patna Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namo. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. So I'm happy to be with you again. I'm presently in Bavaria in Germany at the German farm. I arrived here yesterday. I'll be here for Janmashtami. And today we have our first class on chapter 41. Krishna and Balaram enter Mathura. So we will have two classes on this chapter today and tomorrow. So we will first read the first text. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Shtuka Uvacha Stuvatas Tasya Bhagavan Dasayitva Jalevapu Puyasam Aharat Krishna Nato Natyam Vivatmanam. Sukadev Goswami said, while Akrura was still offering prayers, the Supreme Lord withdrew his form he had revealed in the water, just as an actor winds up his performance. So we heard, or you heard certainly, that in the previous chapter that Krishna was taken out of Vrindavan and brought to Mathura by Akrura. We heard also that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. He's staying in Vrindavan in his aprakat form. We will hear more about this prakat manifestation and aprakat manifestation in the 47th chapter, where Uddhav visits Vrindavan. We have a moment. There's a lot of noise here. I'm speaking to 40 people in that room. Okay. And it makes a lot of noise. Can I close that? Of course, sorry about that. Hare Krishna, here we are. So we will hear more in this 47th chapter about the prakat form manifestation of the Lord and the aprakat, that where Uddhav will enter Vrindavan. When he enters Vrindavan, he has the a vision of the apricot Vrindavan. But then the next day, when he meets with Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda, he will have their prakat or experience their feelings of separation. That we will discuss later more in detail. But apricot means unmanifested for material eyes. So in his full form, Krishna appears only in Vrindavan. He has his full form there because of his love for the Brijvasis. The original form of Krishna appears only in Vrindavan. We know that Krishna has 64 qualities, right? 64 qualities Krishna has. And there are 4 qualities which are unique for Krishna. So these 4 qualities which are unique for Krishna, when he goes out of Vrindavan, he misses at least one of these qualities. So it's 4 unique qualities, the difference between Lord Krishna and Narayan, that is Lila Madhurya, Bhakta Madhurya, Veni Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya, but you have this Venu Madhurya, he plays on his divine flute, thus attracting all souls. It doesn't do that in Dvarka or in Mathura. So that is certainly missing there. Outside is not complete. Another point we may have remembered is when he leaves Vrindavan, he does not leave forever. He goes for a visit, but in his Prakat Lila, he's going for a long time. Another point that we may have learned is in separation, Krishna comes in the heart. If we feel this separation strongly, one way or other, Krishna is always there. But in his original form, Krishna, Shyamasundar goes only up to the border of Vrindavan. And after the border, he expands in his Vasudeva form. So these are reasons why Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So this verse, we heard about Akura's vision while he took bath. There's a comment of Sridhar Swami on that. He writes, having enlightened the darkened mind of Akura, by the sublime mercy of showing him his personal abode, the Lord sees now his own capital, Mathura. It says, after enlightening the darkened mind of Arjuna. What was the darkened mind of Arjuna? What was the doubt of Arjuna? He could not find out where Krishna was. Was he under the water or on the chariot? That was his doubt. So Krishna will now enter Mathura, and we'll see how Mathura is decorated for the festival. They say decorated for the festival, but actually the real reason why Mathura is decorated is that Krishna is coming there. Especially the women of Mathura are eager to see Krishna. They can't wait. So on this first text there is a commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He writes, in this chapter Krishna goes to Mathura and enchants the women folk. After killing the washerman, Krishna awarded the cloth weaver and the garment maker named Sudam. After showing his majestic Vishnu form to Akrura in the Yamuna at Akrura Ghat, he received Akrura's prayers, the famous prayers of Akrura which we heard. Then Sri Krishna withdrew that vision just as an actor winds up his performance. Krishna made that form disappear without asking Akrura. This disregard for Akrura is expressed by the use of the sixth case, tasya, which expresses informality instead of the second case, tam. So now we have text 2. Text 2. When Akrura saw the vision disappear, he came out of the water and quickly finished his various ritual duties. He then returned to the chariot, astonished. So amazing that although Krishna is there with them, devotees still do their ritual duties. We had heard before, Dhruva Maharaj, before entering the plane for Vaikuntha, he first took bath and did his morning duties and offered his respect to all the sages. It's interesting. Text 3. Tam apricha Trishikesha kim te drishtam ivabhutam Brahma Vijayati toyeva tatatvam loksayam mahe. Lord Krishna asked Akrura, have you seen something wonderful on earth, in the sky or in the water? From your appearance, we think you have. Text 4. Akrura said, whatever wonderful things the earth, sky or water contain, all exist in you. Since you encompass everything, when I am seeing you, what have I not seen? And now that I am seeing you, O Supreme Absolute Truth, in whom reside all amazing things on the earth, in the sky and in the water, what amazing things could I see in this world? So Akrura has certainly realized here that Lord Krishna is not merely his nephew. Yeah. How many of you have that experience that after seeing the form of Krishna, that you are in the same situation as Akrura? Nothing compares to the form of Krishna, and the way we realize it is when we are separated from the temple and from the devotees. Then we appreciate Krishna's beautiful form. In Krishna book, we get a bit more information that so I will try to get that point on my screen here. So Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, 41. So a little further. So it's So Krishna asked whether he had seen something wonderful in the water or in space that time. Akrura said, "My dear Lord, all wonderful things that are happening within this world, either in the sky or in the water or on the land, are factually appearing in your universal form. So when I've seen you, what wonderful things have I not seen?" So what Akrura was praying for before, he was now realizing in the water that so this statement confirms the Vedic version that one who knows Krishna knows everything, and that one who has seen Krishna has seen everything, regardless of how wonderful a thing may be. That so my dear Lord, Akrura continued, there cannot be anything more wonderful than your transcendental form. When I have seen your transcendental form, what is there left to see? Yeah. Here's a comment of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that I will read from Sarartha Darshini on this verse 5. So, what was amazing was not that all the things I saw within you, but that form which contained everything. So, I'm gazing upon you, within whom all amazing things exist. There are many amazing things on the land and in the water, but I realize that your form standing before me is more amazing than all things of the universe. The form I see here is thousands of times more amazing than the sight of Vaikuntha with Sankarsana and all of Narayan's attendants. O Brahman, you are the Supreme Absolute Truth, the Lord of all lords. By your mercy, my foolishness of thinking that you are simply my nephew has disappeared. So that was his realization that so more amazing to Vaikuntha is that simple form of a coward voice. So whoever had this realization, Lord Brahma had this realization. He was thinking that he had a much bigger body than this little coward boy. He realized that from this little coward boy, many Vishnus were coming. So when he begged for forgiveness, he said that I have only the size of one universe, but you have all, but from you all the universes are coming. So this is the realization described in this chapter of Akrura. Now we have text 6. Text 6. To go back. the database. Chapter 41, text 6. With these words, Akrura, the son of Gandhini, began driving the chariot onward. At the end of the day, he arrived in Mathura with Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna. So, it is said that, how far is the difference, the distance from Mathura, from Vrindavan to Mathura, described here, 30-35 kilometers. We've done it many times with the Vrajman or Parikrama. But the cowherd boys, Nanda Maharaj and so on, they were already in Mathura. It took a time, yes, Akrura taking his bath and so on the way. So they came later. The cowherd boys were already in Mathura. So it took them a whole day to go to Mathura. It seems that Krishna went off the road so that the Brajavasis would not following him and catch him. So then we have text 7. Wherever they passed along the road, O king, the village people came forward and looked upon the two sons of Vasudeva with great pleasure. In fact, the villagers could not withdraw their eyes from them. Nanda Maharaj and the other residents of Vrindavan, having reached Mathura ahead of the chariot, had stopped at the garden on the outskirts of the city to wait for Krishna and Balaram. So they were waiting for Krishna. Text 9. After joining Nanda and the others, the Supreme Lord Krishna, the controller of the universe, took humble Akrura's hand in his own, smiling as follows. So text 9 will read the purport of Vishwanasika Bhakti Thakur. While seeming to smile, Krishna spoke to Akrura with humility. Pasritam. Krishna smiled in order to please Akrura, but eternally he was full of grief on seeing the city of Mathura because of remembering his beloved Vraj. Interesting. Krishna's heart is always with the Vrajavasis. Now text 10. Lord Krishna said, take the chariot and enter the city ahead of us. Then go home. After resting here a while, we will go to see the city. So, there you have Krishna and all these cowherd boys, simple cowherd boys. These cowherd boys, they have never been in the city. So that's their first night out in the big city. And Krishna is going to have fun. But of course, to go into the city, they need to be nicely dressed, that look nice. So Krishna will make arrangements here, but that we will see that they will have some fun in the evening in the city. So Krishna wants to go into the city with all the cowherd boys but without his older Akrura. So Krishna wanted Akrura to go home and then see him later. Krishna and the cowboys will have lots of fun seeing Mathura, we will see. Now text 11 and 12. Akrura said, "O Master, without the two of you, I shall not enter Mathura. I am your devotee, O Lord, so it is not fair that you abandon me, since you are always affectionate to your devotees. Come, let us go to my house with your elder brother, the coward man, and your companions. O best of friends, O transcendental Lord, in this way grace my house with its master." So Srila Vishwanath Thakur has a comment here. Akrura said, "Come to my house along with the Vrajavasis. I will not visit Kamsa and inform him of your arrival now. How can I announce that he will die the day after tomorrow? I do not have a speck of fear from him, but because I've seen your powers in the Yamuna. Although there will be no lack of things in my house. Therefore, let us go there." So Srila Vishwanath Thakur goes deeper into the mentality and the thinking of Akrura. Yeah, but it's true. The news is not that Krishna came to die, but the news is that Krishna came to kill Kamsa. Text 13:14. "I'm simply an ordinary householder attached to ritual sacrifices, so please purify my home with the dust of your lotus feet. By that act of purification, my forefathers, the sacrificial fires, and the demigods will all become satisfied." Text 14. "By bathing your feet, exalted Bali Maharaj attained not only glorious fame and an unequaled power, but also the final destination of pure devotees." So how did Bali Maharaj attain the final destination? So, you can attain the final destination even in this life when you satisfy Krishna. Of course, Bali Maharaj, Vamandev became his doorkeeper, that we know. Now text 15. "The water of the river Ganges has purified the three worlds, having become transcendental by bathing your feet. Lord Shiva accepted that water on his head, and by the water's grace the sons of King Sagara attained to heaven." That is a big part of the Bhagavatam. That. So Akrura is glorifying Krishna's feet in 3 verses. That text 16. "O Lord of Lords, Master of the universe, O whose glories is most pious to hear and chant, O best of the Yadus, of you whose fame is recounted in excellent poetry, O Supreme Lord Narayan, I offer you my obeisances." So there is a commentary of Vishwanath Thakur on this verse 16. Akrura said, "O Devadev, you shine among all the demigods. Today please illuminate my house. You are the Lord of the universe, Jagannath. So now become the Lord of my house. You purify anyone who hears and chants your glories, Punya Shravana Kirtana. So please purify my house today, O best of the Yadus, Yadutama. Please come to my house, as I am also a Yadu. O Uttamasloka, famous as the deliverer of the fallen, please purify my fallen household. So you see, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is analyzing the Sanskrit here. Behind each word there is something, and between each word there is, come to my house. That, now text 17. The Supreme Lord said, I will come to your house with my elder brother, but first I must satisfy my friends and well-wishers by killing the enemy of the Yadu clan. Report. Akrura glorified Krishna in text 16 as Yaduttama, the best of the Yadus. Sri Krishna here confirms this by saying, in effect, since I'm the best of the Yadus, I must kill the enemy of the Yadus, Kamsa. And then I will come to your house. So Krishna, you see, Krishna is expert. He took Akrura's words and changed them in such a way that he explains that he could come to his house. Why he cannot come to his house? Because I am Yadu Uttama, the best of the Yadus, I must first kill Kamsa, as this is the best service I can do for the Yadus, Krishna said. The Yadus are all terrified by Kamsa, they can't do anything. So he said, I will come to your house later. And now the preparations for the night out with the boys in the big city will start. Text 18. Sukadev Goswami said, thus addressed by the Lord, Akrura entered the city with a heavy heart. He informed King Kamsa of the success of his mission and then went home. Lord Krishna desired to see Mathura, so toward evening he took Lord Balaram and the cowherd boys with him and entered the city. 20:23. The Lord saw Mathura with its tall gates and household entrances made of crystal, its immense archways and main doors of gold, its granaries and other storehouses of copper and brass, and its impregnable moats, beautifying the city were pleasant garlands and parks. The main intersections were fashioned of gold, and there were mansions with private pleasure gardens, along with guide halls and many other buildings. Mathura resounded with the calls of peacocks and pet turtle doves, who sat in the small openings of the lattice windows on the gem-studded floors, and also the columned balconies and the ornate rafters in front of the houses. These balconies and rafters were adorned with Vaidurya stones, diamonds, crystal quartz, sapphires, coral, pearls and emeralds. All the royal avenues and commercial streets were sprinkled with water, as were the side roads and courtyards, and flower garlands, newly grown sprouts, parched grains and rice had been scattered about everywhere. Gracing the houses' doorways were elaborately decorated pots filled with water, which were bedecked with mango leaves, smeared with yogurt and sandalwood paste, and encircled by flower petals and ribbons. Near the pots were flags, rows, lamps, bunches of flowers, and the trunks of banana and betelnut trees. That was a purport. So, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives this description of the elaborately decorated pots. On either side of each doorway, above the scattered rice, is a pot. Encircled each pot are flower petals, and on its neck are ribbons, and its mouth are leaves of mango and other trees. Above each pot, on a golden plate, are rows of lamps. A trunk of a banana tree stands on either side of each pot, and a betel-nut tree trunk stands in front and also behind. Flags lean against the pot. That's so. I think most of us have been to Mathura, but it does not fit the description what we are seeing here. So Mathura now is covered with a layer of material nature, and therefore we cannot see Mathura as it is. That text 25, 24, 25. The women of Mathura hurriedly assembled and went forth to see the two sons of Vasudeva. As they entered the city on the king's road, surrounded by their coward boyfriends, some of the women, my dear king, eagerly climbed to the roofs of their houses to see him. Some of the ladies put their clothes and ornaments on backwards. Others forgot one of their earrings or ankle bells, and others applied makeup to one eye but not the other. So it are not only the gopis who had this problem on the way to the rasa dance, but here also the women of Mathura have the same experience. Purport. The ladies were very eager to see Krishna, and in their haste and excitement, they forgot themselves. That 26. Those who were taking their meals abandoned them. Others went out without finishing their baths or massages. Women who were sleeping at once rose when they heard the commotion, and mothers breastfeeded their infants, simply put them aside. The purport 26 I will read from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Some women gave up eating their meals, and some even interrupted ceremonies, utsava, such as wedding rites, and abruptly left without circumambulating their husbands. Others being massaged with oil by their maidservant gave up the massage without even completing their bath. Others left while their bodies were still wet. Women who were attentively feeding their newborn babies immediately gave them up and left. So that is quite interesting. It's your marriage day, and the man is waiting the wife for, circumambulating him, and suddenly she is gone. That's quite an experience. And also just putting their newborn babies aside, that's, this is what people are attached to in this world, but they gave it up one moment of another. But now, text 27. The lotus-eyed Lord, smiling as he recalled his bold pastimes, captivated those ladies' minds with his glances. he walked with the gait of a lordly elephant en route, creating a festival for their eyes with his transcendental body, which is a source of pleasure for the divine goddess of fortune. So when Krishna was in Vrindavan in the evening, he would do the same thing with the gopis. We read Srila Vishwanath Thakur's comment on text 27. With that body which is radiantly beautiful, Shistriya Sobhaya, Krishna gave pleasure, Ramana Ramayati, and playful enjoyment to the ladies of Mathura. His handsome body created a festival for their eyes and stole their minds. This indicates that by pleasing their eyes, Krishna bewildered them, and without their noticing stole the jewel of their hearts. Manohar. He's stealing their minds. Now we have text 28. We will hear now about the type of separation that the women of Vrindavan are feeling. That we can say it's also purvarag, feeling separation before meeting. Text 28. The ladies of Mathura had repeatedly heard about Krishna, and thus as soon as they saw him, their hearts melted. They felt honored that he was sprinkling upon them the nectar of his glances and broad smiles. Taking him into their hearts through their eyes, they embraced him, the embodiment of all ecstasy, and as their body hairs stood on end, a subduer of enemies, they forgot the unlimited distress caused by their absence. So Vihe-Bhaktivedanta Thakur comments, their hearts melted upon looking at Krishna. They felt greatly honored to be sprinkled with the nectar of Krishna's sweet smiles and glances. They freely embraced the embodiment of bliss, Ananda Muktim, and bliss whom they had obtained in their minds by glancing at Krishna from just one of their eyes. By this they gave up the distress generated from his absence. By the phrase subduer of the enemies, Arimdam, Sukadev Goswami implies that by hearing and meditating on such pastimes as this, we can conquer the enemy of lust, anger, greed, and envy. That's a benediction, text 29. The lotus faces blooming with affection, the ladies who had climbed on the roofs of the mansions rained down showers of flowers upon Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna. So this is the first exchange Krishna has with the residents of Mathura. So his first exchange was with the ladies of Mathura, and after the ladies, then the Brahmins are coming. Text 30. Brahmins stand along the way of the two lords with presentations of yogurt, unbroken barley corns, pots of full water, garlands, fragrant substances, such as sandalwood paste and other items of worship. So this is the first part, but we will continue a little more, and just here about the washerman, text 31. The women of Mathura exclaimed, "Oh, what severe austerities the gopis must have performed to be able regularly to see Krishna and Balaram, who are the greatest source of pleasure for all mankind." 32. Seeing a washerman approaching who had been dyeing some clothes, Krishna asked him for the finest laundered garments he had. So we will see the washerman is not going to be charmed like the ladies of Mathura. Lord Krishna said, "Please give me suitable garments to the two of us, who certainly deserve them. If you grant this charity, you will undoubtedly receive the greatest benefit." So, that's interesting. He's offering the washerman the greatest benefit. We would all want Krishna to come to us and offer us the greatest benefit, right? But what will the washerman do? So, text 434. Thus requested by the Supreme Lord, who is perfectly complete in all respects, that arrogant servant of the king became angry and replied insultingly. The washerman said, "You impudent boys, we are accustomed to roaming the mountains and forests, and yet you would dare put on such clothes as these. These are the king's possessions you are asking for." So Jiva Goswami says, the idea that the king's clothes are first class is according to the view of the demons. According to the view of the ordinary society, these clothes are seen as excellent. So also Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he with comments on that. Udivrita, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, means one who has deviated from good vrita. The washerman said, "Oh, you have transgressed the bounds of good behavior. Oh, ill-mannered boys, you dare to put on the king's clothes." By the influence of Mother Saraswati, the washerman's words can also mean, "Oh, boys of excellent character, Udvrita, Utkrishta, Charita, who herd cows and Govardhan. Would you ever wear such mundane clothes as these?" It's the opposite. "Certainly not. Therefore, even in play, why do you want to don the impure things of a king?" But so Mother Saraswati speaks to him and gives the words also an opposite meaning. Amarakosha dictionary says fritam patyu saritricha, which means the word frita can indicate a footstep or activity and is used in all three genders. It's just like Srila Prabhupada, that once he was driving in a Rolls-Royce car. They picked him up from the airport and the reporters were there. And the first thing they noted was the Rolls-Royce car. And the first thing, of course the Rolls-Royce is a very expensive car. Even in those days it was very expensive. It was the top line of cars. And the reporter asked Srila Prabhupada, how is it you are supposed to be a renounced guru and you are driving in this expensive car? Srila Prabhupada replied, actually, this car is not fit for me because I'm the representative of Krishna. They should have given me a car made of gold, not this tin car. This is useless. Of course, by materialistic vision, the Rolls-Royce is a very good car, but from Srila Prabhupada's vision, it was not good enough. So we will stop here, and because we have the last session tomorrow we will hear more about his weaver, about his previous life, and then we will hear about the tailor and the garland maker, Sudam, and also learn about their previous lives from Garya Samhita. So we will pause now for 10 minutes. So Pavitra Prabhu, we will have this discussion and Murali Darsyan Prabhu in 10 minutes from now. So I noted your raising of the hand. It's now 8 to 4. So we will resume 5 past 4 in 30 minutes from now. So get up and make a walk, whatever you want to do, and in 12 minutes we are there again. Hare Krishna, Jai Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Pavitra Prabhu. So please, we want to hear from you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Haribo.
Thank you for your wonderful class, Maharaj. My obeisance to Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, my obeisance also. Jai Prabhupada.
Maharaj, Krishna is said to be Bhagavan, means he has 6 opulences. And the first is wealth. So as a wealthy man traveling, you're supposed to have luggages of nice dress. Now Krishna entered Mathura and he has to meet a washerman and ask him for new dress. When the washerman refused, Krishna killed him. Is that not any contradiction?
Well, that will all be clarified tomorrow. The point is that he deserved to be killed because of the actions in his previous life. Nothing happens in Krishna's pastimes by chance. And another point I could say on that is, yes, Krishna did not ask really these clothes for himself. He wanted all the coward boys to be dressed nicely. And we will see all the other washermen, the assistants of the washermen will will leave their clothes and flood the place, leave everything behind. And then this weaver comes, this tailor, and he will dress Krishna and Balaram and adjust the clothes, but also for all the cowboys. That will be very interesting, that we will hear tomorrow. Does that help, Pavitra Prabhu?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah, we will hear more about that tomorrow. So thank you. Some other Sitarani, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I have a comment that when we see the verse 33rd, we see that Krishna tells them that if you grant this charity, you will undoubtedly receive the greatest benefit. But somebody who's wicked and envious cannot really see what's good for himself. So what he's trading basically Vaikuntha for Brahmajyoti. If he had actually given the clothes to Krishna and served him, he could have gotten Sarupya Mukti like others, but he ended up getting Brahmajyoti. So we can see that if somebody is envious and wicked, we cannot really appreciate what is worth appreciating.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is a very nice comment. That we are all in illusion in this world, and we don't know our benefit. And that's true. That in the morning class here we had a discussion here in Singapore in Germany that about how to answer a professor who was saying yes, this Bhagavad Gita is all about violence. But that's another illusion. Srila Prabhupada answered that, shall we ever be able to stop all violence in the world? If we stop all the wars, nobody will die anymore? No, it will all go on. It's just an illusion that non-violence will solve everything. It doesn't solve anything, because finally one has to die, whether now or later. And that's also an illusion. Another illusion is, yes, we are living in this world and we are going to settle ourselves permanently in some form of material happiness. It also doesn't happen. You get also distress, and it's all temporary. At the end you are cheated. So these illusions are all pervading. That it's all caused by envy of Krishna. But it's interesting. Krishna is offering him everything, but he's envious. He does not know Krishna's position. So it starts with the Bhagavatam shows us Krishna's position, and then we can build our relationship or recover it. That as long as we are not aware who Krishna is, then we act stupidly. Thank you, Mother Sitaram. Very good comment. So, Muridhar Shyam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. It's such a humble obeisance, Maharaj. But
Prabhupada.
in early, when you was giving introduction, Maharaj was explaining on Prakarta and Apakarta, how to understand that Krishna never lived Vrindavan, Maharaj.
Yeah, we will discuss that chapter 47, but you have the Apakat and the Prakat Lila. Krishna comes to Vrindavan like 5,000 years ago. He displays his Prakat Lila, which is called manifested. We can also everyone could see Krishna. It was manifested. But there is another level of existence. It is the level of Goloka Vrindavan. So, you know what? And we will learn in the 47th chapter to go to this other level where Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. We can go to this. What is the price to go from one level to the other level? How can we enter this Aprakat Lila, which is eternally going on, where Krishna is always present? The price is what Lord Chaitanya gave us: intense feelings of separation. And that makes you enter that other level. And we will hear about that more in chapter 47. But we may, of course, there are, despite these feelings of separation, that's not for all devotees. The highest devotees, like Mother Yasoda, Nanda Maharaj, by their feelings of separations, they don't enter into the Aprakat Lila. They remain in the Prakat Lila, and they have intense separation, feelings of separation. It feels very intense. But factually, their feelings of separation is a higher form of ecstasy than being with Krishna. And we will hear more about that in chapter 47. That's quite esoteric. But I was also thinking of, like in Nectar of Instruction, text 8, it says one should chant his nectarian holy name 24 hours a day. And then in the purport, Srila Prabhupada speaks about the different stages, Varanadasa, and then 5 levels of Smaranavasta, and in the beginning one forgets Krishna and sometimes remember him, and then when it becomes those moments that we remember Krishna become longer, and the moments we forget Krishna become shorter. And then at a certain moment it becomes continuous remembrance. And then the remembrance becomes deeper, the meditation. And at that moment, Krishna is going to reveal himself. But Krishna reveals himself not at once everything. First you see his form, and then his qualities comes. His sweetness, his beauty, and then we see Krishna is in his holy dham, and we see also around Krishna his holy dham, and then we see his associates, and then his pastimes. So that is our Shakti. Transcendental television, Srila Prabhupada says. And that is the link with the Aprakat Lila. But that's really there if we have intense feelings of separation. Anyway, I'm going a little ahead of things. We will discuss that in chapter 47 more deeply. But that means the Aprakat Lila is the same as going on in Goloka Vrindavan. There Krishna Akura comes and Krishna leaves, but the same day is coming back. But every time this pastime is eternally going on in Goloka Vrindavan, it's eternally going on. And every time the residents of Vrindavan, they experience that as fresh. They have never experienced it before, and that's also interesting. Good. Does that help a bit to understand that?
Yes, Maharaj. I'm so eager to wait.
Okay. Thank you. That, so I want also to ask what we see here. The residents of Mathura, they had already feelings of separation before Krishna came to Mathura, because they heard about Krishna and his pastimes, his killing of his demons and so on. But it came from hearing. We have also in the scriptures other examples of devotees who developed this great attachment to Krishna just by hearing. They did not meet him. Can someone give me examples?
Rukmini,
Rukmini. She heard from who?
from the Brahmanas, Maharaj?
From the Brahmanas. Was it not from Narada Muni?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Narada.
Narada Muni told about Krishna, and she accepted it with her heart and became attracted to him, just by hearing from authorities from Narada Muni. Are there other examples?
Yeah, the Brahman Patnis.
Yes, they heard from who?
The Pulinda women.
The Pulinda, who were selling their forest fruits and were talking about Krishna. Interesting, these Pulinda women also, they did see Krishna sometimes in the forest. They saw him, but had also no direct association with it. That's interesting. Just by hearing. That's our philosophy. Shravanam Kirtanam Krishna Smaranam. Start with Shravanam. The Bhagavatam is so deep. If you read this Sarartha Darshini from Srila Vishwanath Bhakti Thakur, then you see how deep he goes in all this details that he brings up. All the details he sees in the scriptures. That Srila Vishwanath Bhakti Thakur is in the mood of Rupa Goswami. Some say that he's the reincarnation of Rupa Goswami, because he builds further on all the comments on Rupa Goswami. And when you read his commentaries, it's like they are seeing the pastime. And of course, they may see the pastime in the Rapakat Lila. Therefore, they give all these details, not just intellectually, but out of experience, so deeply attached that the Pulinda, that just by hearing about Krishna. But we see also these women of Mathura, their raga, their attachment to Krishna. Can you imagine on Srila Vishwanath Bhakti Thakur describes on this wedding and they just, for most people, it is the most important day of their life, their wedding, and then suddenly the bride is gone. So that's you must have serious attachment to Krishna to do that. So this is on the platform of prema, the rag, anurag, great attachment to Krishna. We have also we have anurag. One of our acharyas says that also Queen Kunti had this anurag for Krishna. That anurag, she says she has let these calamities come again and again. That's as long as I remember Krishna, there is no birth, death, old age, disease. So that's anurag, this great attachment. Of course, you have sneha, pranaya, and mana, rag, anurag, and then bhav and mabhav. These are 7 stages of prema that we know that gopis, Radharani is even more intense than their separation. But so this anurag, attachment, and that's the whole thing we heard in the 3rd canto, their teachings of Kapila Dev, that the teachings of Kapila Dev, Prasangam Atropasham Atmana Kavayantahe, that this is 3rd chapter. Prasangam Atropasham Atmana Kavayovidu, Saiva Satasukito Muksatvarma Pavitam. Attachment for material is the greatest entanglement of the spirit soul, but that same attachment, when applied to self-realized devotees, opens the door for liberation. It speaks about attachment to the sadhus, but then Kapila Dev said, what happens when we have this attachment to these sadhus? Satam prasanga mama vira samvido bhavandrit karna rasayana katatat yusnata pavakya bhaktmanis kadati bhaktirana karnishati. Then you discuss the pastimes in association of these devotees, and then you will become attached in your heart to Krishna. But that's the way to the sadhus, to transfer this attachment. So in cultivating this, association is important. That so this women of Mathura must have been talking about Krishna before Krishna came and became more and more attached. That and that's the path for liberation. That so this women from Mathura, we will see also, where we have heard about that also in the 1st canto, when Krishna leaves for Dwarka, and all the ladies of Mathura, they come from Hastinapur. They come on the top of the palaces, and we see also their attachment to Krishna. That so that is great. So attachment of desire. That's the difference between material and spiritual life. Material life, we are attached to things in this world. Spiritual life means attachment to Krishna. That an attachment to things in this world, it's all temporary. I've seen also, I've been through a lot in this movement, and so many things, and so many problems, so many issues. But my spiritual master Bhakti Charanaraj always said, don't look back, forget about it, it's all temporary, soon you have to go, look forward, cultivating that attachment to Krishna. And that's important. Important lesson here. How we see all the devotees are so attached to Krishna. Akrura, he does not want to leave Krishna. But yeah, Krishna had to tell him, yes, we want to have a night out here with the cowboys, and we will see how nicely Krishna prepared it. We wanted to night out, so we wanted him and the cowboys to be nicely dressed, wear garlands, and to look nice for a night out. It's where they have never been in the city. That so young boys, that when they are in the city, that so how Krishna prepares for that. But we will see also where we have this washerman, and we will hear tomorrow about his past life, why this happening. And also we will hear about the garland maker, Sudam in his previous life, and also about the tailor, the weaver in his previous life. And we'll see nothing happens without a reason in Krishna's pastime. We see only the puzzle here, a piece of the puzzle, but we don't see the whole picture. Our life is only a piece of a big picture. That and whatever happens in our lives, it's not by accident. But that we are confronted with the reactions of our own past, that we don't see it. And we don't learn from it. Because we see only the moment. It's the disease of people in Kali Yuga. Prayanal Payusa Sabya Kala Vasminchirechana Mandasamanda Matya Mandabahu. Upadritam. They are short-sighted, always disturbed. Short-sighted, I see the moment of enjoyment only, and not the bigger picture. But we see also in Krishna's pastimes, these devotees go to different lives, and they get certain experience, which Krishna arranges. That, yes, nothing happens by accident in this world, by chance. Any further comments or questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I had a question.
Yes, Mother Prabhupada Priya.
First of all, please accept my humble obeisances.
My humble
Nice to
obeisances,
see you again.
Prabhupada.
My question was related to the women of Mathura and how they just dropped everything like the gopis did to go and see Krishna. But with the gopis, we see that their husbands tried their best to restrain them, or else Yogamaya arranged that the gopis expanded themselves in such a way that the husbands didn't even know that they were gone because the expansion was still at home and the actual form of the gopi had gone to Krishna. But we don't see that described here for the women of Mathura. So I'm just thinking that, I mean, their husbands must have raised some objection to their wives just, running off to see another man in the middle of their duties.
Well, like this person at the marriage, suddenly the bride was gone. He did not know the reason why she was gone. It was too late, she was already gone. So it doesn't mean they were aware that they were running away because of Krishna. But these women, they knew it. But even if they tried to stop, they were unsuccessful. Their attachment was so deep. They had to go. But of course, the gopis is a little different. Krishna's playing the flute. Everyone is hearing the flute. And it's night, dangerous outside in the forest. So then, naturally, they try to stop them. Of course, yes, we can say they went to Krishna, that there were social reasons why they were stopped. Vrindavan is a different setting. It's a different setting, it's a different mood also. It's a different mood. But yeah, in Vrindavan they were certainly stopped for social reasons also. But here, Krishna appears in Mathura. It's a one-time event. He appears in, it doesn't happen every night, like, it's a one-time event. And I think it was too sudden for all these people to realize that they were leaving because of Krishna. But they were not running to the forest, they were just going on the roof. So they didn't leave the house really. That is also two different settings, different situations. But their raga was certainly similar. Yes, their attachment.
I guess also it wasn't just Krishna that they were going to see, but it was, I mean, in their minds it was just Krishna, but I'm imagining that when Krishna entered Mathura, there was a whole procession. It was all the Vrajavasi, cowherd men, cowherd boys. There was a big commotion. There was probably a lot of singing, and there was a tumultuous thing going on outside the window. So they kind of natural that they run out to see what's going on.
Yeah, that's a right of observation. The husband could not say it's Krishna. There were so many, but of course the object of affection was Krishna, and Balaram also. Krishna is special. But this attachment that we chant and we can't concentrate because our attachment is not much. If we are really attached, you cannot stop chanting. It's so attached. Good. Mother Lalita Petimai.
Hi Krishna Maharaj, please accept my obeisances. Maharaj, in this section we see that Akrura in chapter 38 he was thinking of so many things, and he was thinking like the Lord would receive me in this way and reciprocate me in this particular way, and Krishna he actually does reciprocate in the same way Akrura expected. But usually what Krishna does is he usually does it in a quite opposite way, like for the gopis, or even when Krishna's friend Sudama Vipra, when he came to take his darshan, like he wanted in the need to ask for something from Krishna, but Krishna did not directly give everything to Sudama, but indirectly everything was given. So usually like Krishna he reciprocates in quite different way. But here Krishna is reciprocating in the way which Akrura imagined. So I'm just curious to know that why this is a direct approach towards Akrura, why he didn't perform some activities like some Leela which was a little more mesmerizing, like that.
Yeah, it's interesting that he fulfilled the desire of Akrura. So that is an interesting point. We have also many desires, and we have our service. Mostly it's mixed a bit. But I've experienced, and I think I'm not the only one. You have a material desire, and still you practice Krishna consciousness. You want to give it up, you struggle. but then finally you come to the point of giving it up. So as long as you have the attachment, material attachment, Krishna will not fulfill your material desire. But from the moment you say, I don't need it anymore, I give it up, Krishna fulfills your desire. I've seen that many times. So this is Krishna, how he reciprocates with his devotees. He's there to fulfill our desires. Even he comes to the material world with us to fulfill our material desires. We want to forget him, but he's with us. So that is his point. He comes with us to fulfill our desires. On the spiritual level, yes, we have pure spiritual desires. Then Krishna, he will reciprocate with us if our desire is pure. And we see that he reciprocated with Akrura in this beautiful way. But you may wonder sometimes why does Krishna reciprocate in that way with Akrura, and why will he reciprocate with Sudam? Sudam the florist, we will discuss that tomorrow. Sudam, because the weaver comes to him and offers his services, but Sudam not, he's at home and Krishna goes to his house. So why is that? We will see that is also a desire of Sudam in his previous life. We will hear that tomorrow. So how Krishna reciprocates with our desires, that we may have forgotten it, previous lives, Krishna did not forget, especially with our spiritual desires, and he fulfills them. But, yeah, that's what I could say on it.
Thank you, Maharaj.
So any further points? Otherwise, proceed sort of tomorrow.
Harsh, can I ask a quick question?
Yes, Mother Prabhupada.
I mean, it just, I wonder why Krishna would want to wear those clothes of Kamsa, or even for his cowherd boys. It's kind of follow-up, I guess, on Pavitra Prabhu's question. Because generally, like, you wouldn't want to wear the clothes of a non-devotee, you know? Like, even we wouldn't, what to speak of, you know, Krishna's eternal associates. Or was it just a test for the washerman?
Yeah.
But in the end, they did wear the clothes. So it's kind of, you know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what the example I gave of the old story and Srila Prabhupada. It's Kamsa was a demon, so why should Krishna wear the clothes of a demon? But still, Krishna desired it because he asked for it. He asked for it, and that's interesting. But then they were adjusted. The clothes were adjusted by the tailor, so it became already different. It's like you are going to cook, and you use a half-prepared thing that you bought, and then but you use it in your cooking, and then bhakti is added, although a part of you have examples of that, surely, things you can buy in the shop that we are using, like spaghetti or something, and then you use it in your preparation. So in that way, it was transformed, the clothes, by the tailor who put ornaments and adjusted it, and then Krishna accepted it, and the cowherd boys. But it's an interesting point. Why should Krishna do that? He asked for it. Yeah, I cannot speak on Krishna's behalf there. Any further thoughts on that? No?
Maharaj, may I add something to this?
Yes, sure.
Srila Jiva Goswami actually comments on this. He says that one, these are new, these are not Kansa's clothes, and he lied to Krishna when he said that these are Kansa's clothes. These are new clothes that he is taking to offer to Kansa. And then he also gives an explanation that actually these are Krishna's clothes, and Leela Shakti had arranged that Krishna's clothes reach this person. So when he's carrying them, they're actually Krishna's clothes, they are not Kansa's.
Okay, that's interesting. That's Shiva Goswami.
Yes, Maharaj, I can share the commentary with everyone.
Yeah, please do. That Shiva Goswami has deeper insight. That's good.
So he's not washing them because they're dirty because Kamsa wore them. He's washing them because they're new clothes and they need to
New
be
clothes,
washed.
and he dyed them, fresh dyed, and bringing it to Kansa.
Yeah, yeah. So that clarifies. Thank you. That's so many deeper insights come out of these discussions. Good. Anything else? Then we see each other tomorrow, same time, and we go deeper in these pastimes. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Maharaj, Krishna accepts when something is offered with love and devotion. Patram puspam phalam teyam yo.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
He got frozen.
Is Mahasringa Prabhu you are speaking?
It seems that his internet connection is bad, Maharaj.
Yeah, but I got this point. The point is Krishna accepts something when offered with devotion. That yes, that's true. At the same time, everything. Yeah, at the same time, everything belongs to Krishna. That yes. So we see, but Shiva Goswami has clarified it. They are Krishna's clothes, so means that probably some devotee has made it. That could clarify it. Good. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow at same time. Hare Krishna, Jai Prabhupada.